welcome everybody to this Meet Centria and Finland event, which is meant for all of you who got an acceptance letter from us this year and this joint application that was held in January this year. My name is Heidi Rintala and I will be hosting this event for you. So I will be making sure that we stick on time as we have a very interesting and inspiring program, but it's quite tight. But I think that we can get along with the program so that we can proceed, and then I will be guiding you forward during the program and during the process. But without further ado, I will give the stage to Francesca so that we can kick off this event.
Okay, thank you so much, Heidi, and it's nice to see all of you here, and more people are pouring in as we go. We Finns tend to be very punctual, which is something you're going to learn when coming to Finland. But no worries, we're not there yet, so we'll just get gradually going. So I will be talking something here in the beginning. So my name is Francesca Cucinotta, and I act as the Director in International Affairs here in Centria. And I will now try and share the screen. Let's see how that goes. And then also I'll tell you something about Centria. Okay, you can now see the screen, right?
Yes.
All right. And then I wish to see you again, but now I sort of lost you a bit there, but no worries. Okay. Let's see if we can. There we see a big map of the world, and there is a small Finland where you hopefully are coming in the autumn. And we are part of the Nordic countries, along with Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Iceland, and proud to be part of that family. But here in Finland, we don't speak one of the Nordic languages, or actually we do have a minority that speaks Swedish as well. But we speak Finnish here in Finland. But proud member of the Nordic family. Quite to the north, as you see, but already now spring is visible here in Finland. The trees are starting to, have leaves on them quite soon, but we do have 4 seasons, and that's something that is very particular in Finland as well. So when coming to Finland, better enjoy all the 4 seasons here. Okay, we always say that we are the happiest country in the world, and we just don't say it. We actually are, according to the statistics this year as well. Finland was chosen as the happiest country in the world, not by others, but how Finns themselves rated Finland. And many times since we are in Finland, Finns ask that, is this really true? Is it accurate? How can it be? But many people also think that maybe apart from being happy, Finns are very quite content with their living. So we live in a society that is quite stable, safe, and we have a lot of nature around, and that's something that makes Finland very, very special. As you can see here, and if you're looking at those green things, those are blueberries amongst them, and those you can eat, and they are local superfood. Then other factors that make Finland a nice place. So of course the education system is something we are very proud of. We have free education for our national. Now I can hear somebody. Can somebody turn off the mic? Okay, and also I was already talking about being the happiest, a stable country, safest country, and of course being clean, air being clean, the nature being clean is not something you should take for granted. But here in Finland, you really do notice that how clean the country is, and we want to maintain it like that. Of course, there are less people polluting it as well, so maybe it's easier than somewhere else. You will get acquainted with the digital public services, and they are around us. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's a bit too much. But then again, maybe it has an effect that the bureaucracy does feel less high than in many other countries. Of course, then the climate and the planet are already mentioned, and the fundamental human rights and criminal justice procedures are quite clear here in Finland. Then the small country, we are small in size, but not maybe as a country, but small in the amount of people. So 5.5 million people. We are a republic, have parliamentary democracy, just had an election and don't know who's going to be in the government yet, but very exciting times in Finland. Nothing very much changes here, I have to say, even though there is an election. So minor changes in our system. The GDP there, member of the European Union already from 1995, life expectancy going up all the time. And as I mentioned before, official languages Finnish and Swedish, and we also have a Sami minority up there in the north. And a good word to learn in Finnish is hei, which is differing from the English hey. It's like a hello hey. There you see also that on the map you see how to reach our campuses. So 3 campuses, Kokkola being the main campus, and then Ylivieska campus a little bit up north, and then the Pietarsaari campus on the coast as well, and very reachable with planes and trains and cars, and even actually by boat you could come to Kokkola and Pietarsaari. Then just some local footage, very nice old houses available. Old in Finland doesn't necessarily mean as old as somewhere else, but in our scale, and a very nice, all of these cities, very nice summer cities. And as you are arriving in September, we're not totally over the summer at that point yet. So very nice to go around and see the place. These are some figures. Some Finnish emojis done by our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and they maybe picture Finland very well. We don't have necessarily time now to go through all of them, but I mentioned the superfood, the blueberries, and sisu, sort of Finnish grit, gut, whatever you call it, is something that is very typical for Finns. Very big sports people, nature people. The Santa is from Finland. I don't know how many of those of you from Asia might know the Moomin figures. Peacemaker maybe describes Finland quite well, but definitely a place to come and live and place to visit. From Centria, our mission, of course, is to give higher education. So we offer degrees, bachelor's degrees and master's degrees. I won't go into those in detail. They will be then opened up for you a little bit later. Research and development is something we are very good at in the Finnish comparison, and work very much together with the companies in the area doing research, innovation and development. And of course, as the regional university as well, we are strong in that point. So very much development done in that part as well. Our strength, as I already mentioned, excellent connections with the industries, R&D, project activities. We are an international campus with lots of foreign students, versatile, guiding and caring, and that you will probably notice that today with people we have here with us and the skilled personnel. Those campuses I already mentioned, so won't go to those in detail, but you will meet the people from the campuses then later on in this event as well. Main campus in Kokkola. These are some of the pictures from the Kokkola campus, very colorful, very nice. We're always told that the campuses, all the campuses, but especially maybe Kokkola, where most of our international students are, is full of life. And now after Corona, it's really nice to see it come back alive. And of course, the employability is something that is very important here in Finland at the moment. We do lack workforce, would like to see our internationals stay in these cities or stay in Finland and work further. Sometimes it's not easy to find a job, but there are something available all the time, and we of course try to do our best to create these connections as well, and you will hear about them later on. Always, of course, keep in mind that your main purpose to be in Finland is to study, and that's something to always think first, so you can then well go through your studies in a good pace. The graduates, international students degrees awarded per year, the number of students, something around 4,000, and the number of staff going from 330 now. I think it's much higher than that actually, but international degree students around 900 at the moment. And that is a big number, about 22% of our students are international, and that is well seen on campus every day. What is Centria for students? Just to show you very quickly, but I won't go into those in detail. People in this session will then tell you more about what it means to the students, that we do put the student first in our university. Internationalization I already mentioned, but of course we have lots of partners around the world with possibilities of exchange, short time or longer exchanges, as other visits as well. This is what I wanted to say at this part to open up the event, and again, thank you very much for coming, and of course we hope to see you in Centria later on. Thank you.
Thank you, Francesca, for the welcoming words. I think that we have our acting rector, Jennie Elfving, also online, so maybe we can move to Jennie directly. The stage is yours, Jennie.
Thank you very much. Hopefully you can see me and hear me, or most importantly, hear me.
Yes.
Warmly welcome to everybody also on my behalf. As was said, my name is Jennie Elfving, and I am for the moment the acting rector and also vice rector of Centria. It's a great honor for us that you have all applied to come and study at Centria and in Finland. And I'm generally convinced that you would like it here very much. That's why I thought I would tell you just a few words about Centria, what kind of university of applied sciences we are, and a few words about this region where we are located. And I think this will help you to understand why it's such a good choice to come and study here at Centria. As you could see from the presentation just given by my colleague, we are a multidisciplinary university, and we offer a wide range of high quality programs, both on bachelor level and on master level. We are international, as was mentioned. We are actually the most international university of applied sciences in Finland. This is if you look at the percentage of international students. More than 20% of our students are international students. We started our first international program more than 25 years ago, so we have a long tradition in teaching international programs as well, and our campuses have developed into a truly international environment. At the same time, we are very international, but we also very local. We'll have strong local roots. We have a close cooperation with the companies and organizations here in this region. The number of applicants for Centria has grown steadily in the last years, and according to statistics from last year, we are the most attractive university of applied sciences in Finland. In this case, most attractive means that we have the highest number of applicants per number of intake. When we ask our students for feedback, when we ask them why they want to come to Centria and why it's good to study at Centria, there are several things that they mention, but two things that tend to come up. One is the the quality of the education, that we can offer really high quality education. The other thing they very often mention is the good atmosphere that we have here at Centria. We have skilled teachers. They will do everything they can in order to help you succeed in your studies. We know our students well enough to know them on a personal level. We know what it is like to come to Finland as an international student, and we do offer you guidance and help throughout the whole process to make you feel at home here in Kokkola in Finland. As you saw from the map that was on one of the slides, we are located here on the west coast of Finland. And if you allow me to say so, we're sort of, I would say, the Silicon Valley of Finland, in the sense that we have a very strong entrepreneurial mindset here in the region. This is really where things happen in Finland right now. We have a strong and growing industrial sector that is very export oriented. And in the recent months, we have received several good news about big international companies about to establish their businesses here in our region. This means that there will be quite a lot of new openings, job openings coming up in the next few years. There's a lot of exciting things happening here in the region. The city of Kokkola is growing, so is also the city of Pietarsaari, where we have another campus with international programs. And the region really is in need of educated people. So there will be a lot of job opening for people with a higher education degree. So this is all good news for you who have applied to come and study here at Centria. So maybe just to summarize what I have just said, we can offer you the opportunity to come and study at the most international, most attractive University of Applied Sciences in Finland, located in a region that is one of the most thriving regions in this country for the moment. So I think this is a quite good way to secure your future. Don't you think it sounds like a good opportunity to come here and study? Once more, I'm very happy that you have joined this session. I'm very happy that you have applied to come and study at Centria. I can promise you we will do everything we can for you to succeed in your studies, for you to feel at home here in Kokkola and Pietarsaari. Thank you very much for attending this session. And if you have questions, even after this meeting, you can feel free to contact us anytime, and we will do everything we can in order to help you. And of course, I hope that I will meet you all here on campus in August. Thank you very much and welcome to Centria.
Thank you, Jennie, for the presentation. It definitely is an area that is worth exploring, all the campus cities, but all the way nearby the area, but also the whole Finland, different nature and beautiful nature all around us. Before we continue our program, there are two things that I want to point out. First of all, we will record this event so that in case you have to leave early or something happens, and I know that there are so many people that couldn't join us today, so we will make the recording and it will be available on our website after the event, latest on next week, but probably sooner. And the second thing is that we will have a Q&A session at the end of this event, but we received already quite a few questions from you, but if there is still something that you want to ask or comment during the program, you can use the chat box and already leave your questions there so that we can go them through at the end of the event in case the questions are not answered before. So feel free to use the chat. Maybe you will find some new friends already in there. But great, I think that we're ready to proceed with the program, and I actually have the privilege to invite on stage our keynote speaker, Kamilla Sultanova. She's a diversity and inclusion consultant and a public speaker, awarded public speaker, and an event host as well. And she has helped many international students get their first jobs, their first interviews, first mentors on their way to their careers in Finland. So we will definitely hear an inspiring speech this afternoon. So without further ado, the stage is yours, Kamilla.
Kiitos, Heidi. Kiitos. Thank you so much for having me. Hello, the world. Coming to Centria soon, hopefully. I'm here in Helsinki, and it's a privilege as well to experience this and share the space with you today. We have around 35 minutes. I do want to take a selfie. I'm a selfie person, and that requires that you're going to turn a camera on. And I want to do it in the beginning so that we don't lose the momentum. And we're going to take a selfie, and then I'll open up for questions, those that I can answer. It all is my experience that I'll share today. So let's get a ride, refresh yourself, straighten up your back, and let's go and start the selfie moment. So, and we're probably going to have a few selfies, because there's 3 pages on Zoom. There's 60 of us. Very, very cool. Let's do it. And I know this is really heart-wracking, very nerve-wracking for Finns. Like, nobody wants to have a camera on. So let's make it happen. So maybe you want to take something in your hand that's next to you, a little piece. I'm going to show a Finnish flag here. Take something that is close to you. Flower, I love it. Yes, that's real. Well, I have also flowers, but I'll take a flag. Okay, glasses, cup. Yeah, awesome. A pen, very good. More pens, I love it, creative. So yeah, you're gonna smile and I'm gonna do a screenshot. How about that? Wait a second. Yes, awesome. Next page. You still keep holding stuff. Oh, there's many don't have a camera on. Let's see if you want a camera on. That's a second call for you. If you want to be in a selfie, I'm gonna tweet it and show up on my Twitter feed.
There are so many happy faces. It's so nice to see,
okay.
all the happy
We'll
faces.
Do one more. One more screenshot. Good. Yes. Thank you so much for being with me on this one. Great. Well, I will have a few questions along the way, but again, I do want you just to write your questions in the chat, share your LinkedIn profiles. Let's start networking here and now, because networking can't wait, especially when you're actually thinking to move to Finland. It's all about how you build yourself here through connections, through friendships. Yes. No, I will try to share my screen and see if it works. Can anyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so it's 13:25. Let's get to it straight. I know that already Heidi introduced me, and what I want to share is, of course, my personal story, which is quite interesting, which I don't think could be, it's the dream of having to live abroad, fly airplanes, wear suits, is still impossible for many girls and boys around the world. And my life, I'm originally from Uzbekistan, and my life would be quite simple actually in Uzbekistan. When I would turn 18, they're probably gonna try to get me married. This is my female relatives in Uzbekistan. By age of 25, I probably have a few kids. And so my life would be ever after washing my husband's socks, taking care of my in-laws, and just sitting there fitting that little norm of what a woman can do in Uzbekistan. And that is something that drives me forward to advocate for global mobility, for being a student like you are here, starting your journey, and recognizing how much being able to move from A to B changes your life, and you can change back your society and the whole society where you're moving. So these are a few pictures I want to take with you that tell you why I'm actually here sharing my experience. So I actually went to Denmark to study communication. I couldn't get a job in communication because I couldn't speak Danish at the time. That's 20 years ago, but I moved to Denmark 20 years ago. And this is here, I got a job in container trading. And so I sold containers in Latin America, secondhand containers in Europe, in Asia, and also in Middle East. And yes, I have sold containers in Kokkola. Some of the great people that treated me with respect, even I was such a young person working there as a fresh graduate for a container trading firm. And that's why I really appreciate Finland, because it was so early in my professional journey after graduating. So do take note how you are treated as a professional once you are in your role, and everybody knows that you are there because you are smart and you have something to offer. I'm also a human being. I'm a mother. This is from last weekend in Tampere. I met some other badass moms who are also international students and promoting Finnish export. Kazakhstanian Yulia and a friend from Russia, Natalia. We're all working to promote more inclusive and more global Finland. So nice to build also these communities across Finland. Yes, and I'm happy to say that I'm working a lot with different companies, and this is an interesting video series that I welcome you to watch in continuation from what you hear today. It's called Unwrapping Finland with Hanken School of Economics, but the advice I give there on 5 video series is quite generic, so you can benefit from watching it to think what is awaiting you ahead of moving to Finland. Then that's the Hanken project, where I was a consultant, where I basically worked with international students from all over the world, 32 different nationalities. And I can tell you how much international students gained recognition across Nordics and around the world, actually, because it is easier to integrate for you guys, for all of us who come here, young people. You build connections and you also build quicker ties to local community while you're studying. So do not underestimate your position is more privileged than other newcomers or immigrants moving to Finland at that later stage. I also work with young people with global dignity events. This is immigrant students in Finland, so I'm helping them to feel inspired for their future careers, different projects. I mean, this is all in Finland and it's possible for everyone. The whole society allows for us to arrange and do with this through nonprofit and volunteer activities. And yes, I want to show off this one is as an international student, I've been so active in my both home societies in Denmark and Finland that yes, I met Barack Obama and I've traveled the world to see my ideals with Gandhi and Mandela in South Africa. And I'm wearing right now a South African shirt. And for me, the whole idea of my philosophy of working is Ubuntu. Do you know that I understand the word Ubuntu? Please share in comments. Ubuntu basically is understanding that I am you because you are me. It's the philosophy that we need to maximize the humanity which we have through recognizing it in each other. So that's why I'm forever going to work and talk about dignity. So Ubuntu, everyone. So while I shared with you my quick photo story, the Finnish offering I will share with you as well as the keynote says already. And also I want to focus a little bit on the Finnish language for your future well-being here in Finland. But now, the warm-up here. Let's focus on you a little bit. What is one dream you want to come true when moving abroad? Please share in comments. I know a word dream is very generic, but I do want you to think how you would connect sitting here with me, with all of us here in Finland. What is the dream that you have that you want to realize? Let's take a few moments. And Heidi, I cannot see the chat, but let me see. To be global says, yeah, I'm getting some messages in private message. So when you click reply, make sure that you reply to everyone. So the Zoom does it so that it sends to my inbox, but do send it to the open. So Nishat says the dream is to be global. I think that's really nice way to put it, very short. Any other dream? Okay, you Finnish colleagues, you can also share your dream. You probably also went abroad. Oh, okay. So everyone option is actually turned off. Maybe we can check the settings of the Zoom, but then I can try to read the comments here. Yeah, it says Guillermo Ribeiro says that we can't send messages to everyone. Okay, now I understand. All right, well, you just keep writing to me and I will speak them out loud, okay? Great. So looking at the quick little global outlook right now, when we're thinking about Finland and moving, we always think about jobs, finding careers, and what is actually happening now in the world post-pandemic. And I work with diversity, equity, inclusion. And of course, I will put these issues always to think what affects our abilities, opportunities as people from my different ethnic backgrounds, but also as women and different gender identities and religious beliefs. So we have like the Me Too, we have Black Lives Matter that happened, we had pandemic that really affected all of us. The war in Ukraine has affected everyone. You know, you live in Bangladesh or you live in African countries, you live in Finland, the cost of energy, cost of living has increased, and that really brought people to their knees. And we also see democracy in decline. I mean, I have a lot of mega trends that are really affecting how we make our choices. And also thinking about Asia, the climate change, even my own country, you know, suffering from water shortages and air pollution. This all affects why we are so mobile and we're dreaming of better lives. But also the pandemic has also brought another pandemic for us, pandemic of isolation and loneliness. So what are you going to do about this? How are we going to study and shape our lives as future inclusive leaders who are going to affect and work on these issues, not just for yourself, not just for Finland, but also having that role in the world, in Europe? So that from that understanding, I also want to say in Finland that only 20 to 30% of jobs are advertised. So in that sense, we need to push so much more as international students, immigrants, newcomers, to get ourselves known out there. And I'll share you more specifically how you can make it happen already, regardless actually where you're going to move. So the basics in Finland, I will actually decided to skip because Francesca had such a great input on this. And I will still though focus on things that are value to me. What I realized, because I grew up in a space which lifestyle, which is not 8 to 5 or 8 to 4 or 9 to 5, you know, I'm always was this like, where's the fight? Where's the fight? Where's the fight? Where's the fight? Always navigating places, you know, if it needs to work on the weekend. And what really changed my life understanding with Finland is that you need to make your life matter through well-being, and that you as a young person, you don't need to work hard so much, but you also work hard, but you work smart and have time to rest. And that I learned with new hobbies as kayaking, which was really scary, and running trail runs in Finnish forests. And I'm so grateful for my colleagues in the container trading business that encouraged me and invited me to do things which I would never do. And so being open about this, understanding Finnish philosophy of life design and building your own was something that I even didn't get enough in Denmark, even though it's another happy country in the world. So that is something I will always push Finland, connect to Finland for your own well-being. And there are those important things that to me as well, that I live in a country in Finland, and imagine voting on political elections where you don't know who is going to win. Think about it. That awareness and political civil freedom, knowing that there is trust to the society and government, the way elections are held is important, and work-life balance as well. As I'm a young mom, I know that there is a lot of benefits for me as a parent. Another thing which I also learned from coming from a post-Soviet mentality is that making mistakes, saying something wrong, doing the wrong move. It is something that in Finland says like, it's okay to make mistakes because it's human. And I want to highlight this when you come here, not very much aware of what other people think about me or would do. People don't have time to think about you. And even if they do, you will always get an equal chance. And that I say that from my own experience as an unexperienced person in Finland. I didn't speak any Finnish, but I got opportunities. And as an entrepreneur, you get really that entry through the door once you are visible and working hard for it. So those are things which I really appreciate. I also need to be honest and say what sucks. And that's not to say that it's only Finland. I think the whole world, we're living in exciting times. And I told you already the big mega trends. Isolation is obviously open everywhere in the US, in France, in Uzbekistan, and also in Finland. Yes, Finns smile a lot. I find them very nice and deep and authentic, but they talk little. There is no small talk sometimes. But I want to challenge Kokkola and hope that there is more community engagement locally, and you do have a news already as been told that there is a nice atmosphere on the campus. You will find ways to engage with local people. Language barriers. It is true that mä en puhu suomea sujuvasti kuin monet ihmiset. This was Finnish for you. The barriers are real when you are just new in Finland, but now when I speak Finnish intermediate level, I find so strong that feeling that I'm making mistakes, but I'm functional in the language, and I'm much more, let's say, give myself the credit that I work hard to learn. And I think that Finnish people really encourage or even actually accept that when you are even speaking little Finnish, they will really give you a good pat on the shoulder. So discrimination, racism, yeah, it is documented. There is considerate discrimination to jobs, and sometimes career prospects are difficult for people of different ethnic background. And long winters, they don't make it easier when you're facing rejection to get a job or to like an internship. However, the whole being aware of what problems or challenges there are, you can avoid these big drifts, as I call them, the drifts when you don't know where it's happening, which way you're going. And definitely always seeking help is something that is Finnish, and you will get help when you ask on LinkedIn, in the university, in the city of Kokkola, let's say, thinking about regional and different mentoring programs. And advantages. I see living in a small city is actual advantages because you build your personal local presence much faster than in a big city like Helsinki. And I feel knowing that what already Francesca said, lowest unemployment rates, there's at least, I think there was 2,000 people are needed already in the area of Kokkola. So come in, study fast, get the jobs. And whole world is in one university. It's not to discourage, because I've studied in a university where we were a very small group of people, but you have here almost every 4th student is international. So cherish that and gain power and leverage that advantage. And also advantage to build a career as a first mover. Yes, there are many students who already studied in Finland before you, but many times in many sectors, you're still going to be one of the first colleagues that Finnish people will have, and you can accelerate your career faster. And I think that is, for me, Finland is a land of opportunities. In considering to Denmark, there is increased competition there. So that's it. So now I've been speaking a lot. I want to get us to a warm-up number 2. I know that a decision to move for you is not just solely yours. I had parents not letting me go. So I want to encourage you thinking about your parents, how are you going to negotiate traveling to Finland or another destination? So maybe you can share with me what is one worry that your parent has about you going to Finland. Please share in comments. Yeah, so We have Guillermo Ribeiro sharing that the war in Ukraine is worrying his parents. Thank you, Guillermo. And what else? I have Michael from Nigeria. Hi. Maybe someone else shares. What are some other worries? Finances. Okay, that's valid. Hi, Dibia. Cold facts. My mother worried about the winter being too cold. Haha, don't worry. Winter is all about having the right gear. So you get the right pants, you get the right boots and the jacket and gloves, and you'll be covered. Nishat says surviving snow and loneliness. I mean, it makes sense. Yes, we're not used to living in winter, but I can tell you from a country of sunny Uzbekistan, you can manage. Accommodation is my mother's only problem, says Wongi Raul. Okay. That's but I think there is accommodation in Kokkola area for the students. Benny Paulus also mentions accommodation living expenses. Okay, whose audio is on? Please mute yourself. Right. Yeah, a lot of similar worries, cost of living accommodation. Well, I hope that it's a good food for thought for informing students for Centria team, and that absolutely is valid concerns. But I'm glad that if you ask my parents back when I was moving to Denmark, I was freaking out because, I come from a Muslim family, and I lived in a dorm for 3 months in a dormitory, student dorm. And then when I had to move out, the only option in Denmark to live was to rent a room in a 3-bedroom apartment. And my parents didn't know that I live with 2 guys for my master's degree, because it's just so against my culture. And I decided to say, listen, if I can afford to pay rent myself, I was cleaning the time I made my own money, obviously, but it is very culturally crazy and shocking to know that you need to rent a room with somebody else that you don't know. And that also teaches you life and responsibility. So, and I'm just sharing you personally this, that sometimes I didn't have to tell my parents everything because they would never relate to it. And I'm glad that I could navigate the cultural differences between my country in Uzbekistan and then also here in the Nordics. Thank you. We'll continue. Please keep writing your comments, I think, because that's very valuable information for our team in Centria. And yes, this has to be said. Finnish sauna is the biggest cultural shock for me, says Nishat. I love it. Yes, it was shock for me too, to see naked people. Okay, we continue. So this is probably a very interesting one for you, where we will talk about what is, I think, the Finnish offering from my experience. And I take 3 things here: the courage, growing your courage here, the best, best framework and physical frames for you here in Finland, and also grow your employability and global citizenship. I think you all know by now what SISU means. If you don't know, it's the Finnish quality of resilience. It's a grit. It's that quality of not giving up. And I want you also to quote for you Oprah Winfrey's fantastic quotation, when we have to face courage, our goal in life is to fulfill the highest, the most truthful expression of ourselves as a human being. So to fulfill the highest, most truthful expression of ourselves as human being. I find it so courageous that some of you already are, those of you who are coming to study, you took that step, because not everyone wants to step into the world of unknown and start from scratch. That requires courage. And in Finland, I already said, you will get help if you ask, and there is support from different, in a welfare society, there's support to get, and you should always look at what university community can offer you. You will also not know, but I want to quote this as well, like in numerical terms, what does our international student experience even mean for economy in the world? So OECD's global outlook, my migration outlook last year, said that the international student mobility affects the economy in such a way that it went from 50 billion in 2010 to 150 billion euro in 2019. So this is the money you pay in accommodation, you're buying services, you pay for tuition fees, you send, and you of course make money as working there. So you actually are contributing to the world economy, and you're helping the host economy, but you're also helping, let's say, when I was just studying, I also helped my parents in Uzbekistan, because that's just how things were. And I think that gives you that awareness that you're not just there as a guest, you're here as, let's say, you're the future change maker, your future leader, public leader or private sector leader. And anytime, any place, you should see, like on this picture, these are all international students I work with during COVID. So that numerical value and why you're recognized, why international students recognized is absolutely need to be remembered. That awareness that we really matter for the economies here. So when we're have to face courage, the life comes with, of course, it's euphoric terms, but also after euphoria, you will have to face difficulties of applying for jobs, applying for places you want to get, and rejection is inevitable. You will also experience parts of low confidence, where I also experienced, like, why am I not getting invited to interviews? Why am I not getting an opportunity here or there? And it's also difficult in Nordic societies to build friends when the close circles of friends are limited to those that you went to kindergarten or small school hobbies. They play football together or they play volleyball. And those are things that we need to kind of grow with, those challenges. Like I said, I started playing kayaking, I started running a trail run to get to know how the society functions. And I also made friends with locals, because a friend of mine said, be careful, Kamilla, if you only make friends with internationals like yourself, they're going to leave. And if you're going to stay, you're going to miss your friends. And that was the best advice I got. So yes, you can have your international community wherever you go, but it's important that you make friendships with locals, both young and old, And then I love this slide because it shows all the leaders, all the change makers, game changers in Finland, who many of them have international background. And I put this here that we want you to be in this little pink little window, to be the next person on representation wall, and to showcase how you are making your mark in Finland and also for the world, because these are international friends of mine, some of them are colleagues, doing all kinds of things to make Finland a better place. So you are definitely welcome. Employability, why I feel employability is also a good argument for you to come here is because there is that understanding that your career starts the day you move to Finland and you start your studies. And there is a lot of career services offering in every university. And you should know Kokkola are really in Centria, there's staff who is teaching, who have professional experience too. So it's applied professional experience. So you gain really valuable just-in-time knowledge. And doesn't mean that they will do everything for you. But employability, Finnish degrees, they value everywhere in the world. And when you do it here, if you make it in Finland, you can make it everywhere. I took a little walk on LinkedIn and looked at who are the international students who you should also follow. And you can do a screenshot of this. and follow their journeys in Finland with their studies, their work, their nonprofit, their advocacy. And I know them all personally. And I want to highlight Ding Ma, who is now head of economic department in the city of Lappeenranta. He runs a team of 100 people, and he's one of the few with such a big mandate to decide the future of this Eastern Finland city. I also want to highlight Katarzyna Adrokuti. She's from Lithuania. She studied also in Finland as well. And she went to Uzbekistan as an electric energy efficiency engineer, doing the retrofitting of electric energy stations in my country. And I feel so excited to see that, yes, it starts with education, it starts with Finnish know-how, and then you go to the world. So as a game changers, they all are amazing people. Find these people who could be your role models. And I actually want to share also this link. I will add it when I share it with Heidi. So you can also look all these people up. Who are they? What is their journey? It's everyone has their story here. So for you, oh, sorry, there's a few mistake LinkedIn here. One of the first things you need to consider is your LinkedIn profile. Already now, go in and check out how it looks. When you move to Finland, CV is amazing to start preparing from the day one of your studies. Figure out what are the volunteering opportunities in your area, what you want to do. Join hackathons. It's an amazing time to solve some specific challenge and build a network immediately during the hackathon. You have company visits, you can take part in competitions, and you need to be visible in different communities that are available for you, both across Finland, but also inside Kokkola region. So here, helping yourself land a job is coming to Finnish language. I know there is a lot of talk that it's such a difficult language in the world. Finnish people are actually top 10 in the world as speakers of English as a second language. However, I do want to tell you, do not repeat my mistake and mistakes of many others who started learning Finnish late. So you can consider downloading Word Dive app or Duolingo, check out and start just picking up some Finnish words. I learned myself also reading funny cartoons online or even watching them on TV, listening to Finnish rap. That's how we went to learn Finnish through you had a Finnish song and then you had subtitles. So that really brought my awareness, my language skills up. And then there is different intensive courses with her Finland channel. Her name is Varpu Rusila, and Kristiina Salmela. She also offers a Telegram-driven channel to learn Finnish with a mentor help. Mentor help is good because then you're not left to it alone. I think motivation is such a sucker. You need to really kick yourself with a whip. But these people, their courses are well thought of. I can recommend them, and just start thinking when you start speaking Finnish is just speak with mistakes. And I can say that I started hosting events in Finnish just last three months ago, and every time I was like, well, if I didn't fail yet, this is time for me to fail. So if I didn't screw up, I will screw up now. And nobody booed me off stage. I do have mistakes on grammar, but people are so encouraging me to keep continuing as long as I'm functional and I'm there with my passion, the energy, and so will you. So help yourself land a job, get the Finnish under your skin, get curious about it, and start playing with the Word Dive app. Okay? Are you with me? How's it going? Let me see the comments. Okay, good. There's some communication going on here. So when we're looking at your employability, the social capital, I mean, Finland is famous for its, quite tight social capital. So that means for us to be connected to our localities, to build ourselves, bring our culture with us, and also learn the new culture is all about having that sense of reciprocity, find new friends, feel welcome, and make sure that you know that you have something to offer, but you know who to go to. So social capital for you is building friendships and being curious. I find that when you have those people who you want to meet, you want to be encouraged to push forward, again, to learn Finnish, you also need people who will support you on your journey. And social capital is also how you get to your jobs, interviews. It's that building the glue to society through trust. I know it's not easy. And yes, there will be different attitudes towards people who are international. You will see if you read or hear Mastering Finland podcast. But for me, it helped to volunteer and gain connections. It helped me to also be, impact the local society through these different civil society networks, nonprofit work, and using all the communities that the university has to offer. So social capital, you need to remember, you can only gain what you give. So you have to be a conversation starter. Be curious, it will always come back, and you will have gain those friendships by showing your genuine interest in others. And so finally, the global citizenship is when we want to feel global. We had the comment just now, is I'm not going to make you read this. I want you to read it after when you get the presentation. But the global citizenship is basically what you are offering and what Finland needs, what we all need. When life right now is polarizing, the politics, the democracy, we have the different set of experiences. You have the attitudes. We all have specific competencies. We will build the skills, and that cultural awareness that you bring with you from your country, from your continent, from your region, that's something put in the companies specific. You will make Finnish companies more innovative and more resilient. And I cannot stress enough how much we need to push ourselves and start thinking about our own ways to be inclusive, that there's no racism, there shouldn't be any ways of having some specific bias towards some nationalities, and questioning ourselves why we think about others that we do will also help to diminish what we expect from others to think of us. So build your own inclusivity, build your global citizenship, and for that we can inspire also Finnish society to your Finnish friends, to know a lot about your culture, about your rituals, and create that nice, colorful life in Kokkola and Centria when you land here. I've been speaking a lot. I have the Finnish frame of mind, I have the Danish frame of mind, and I have the Uzbek frame of mind. I told you how it's important to step up and make that do that step to the world of unknown. Moving abroad will come with its own setbacks. It will come with difficulties learning, adjusting to new society. But I still believe from my experiences and my work studying also in the Finnish language and different changemaker academies, that experience that you gain here is more authentic, it's deep, and it will change your life for the better. I say it not because I want you just to be here. I just feel it as a conviction that I want everyone to experience Finnish way of life, that well-being, and push that citizenship, global citizenship forward, and make Finnish companies more inclusive, and build your life here with knowing what happens in your community, and start experiencing democracy at work, equality at work, and work-life balance at work. And want to make sure that you're welcome here as a next change maker. And if you really want to know more about how to network professionally in Finland, do reach out to me. And I do encourage you, own your journey without any comparison. We all have a journey, and the most important journey is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kamilla. That was very interesting, and I don't think I've ever heard anyone learning Finnish from the Finnish rap song. So that was a good tip for all, I would say.
Thank you. I learned it from our German Finnish teacher. It was Elastinen, the singer, whose song that she would share. And culture really connects people, right? Music is universal, just as a smile. So lots of fun stories to tell for sure.
That's true. Thank you, Kamilla. I think that we can continue the chat, and if you can stay a bit longer, so you're able to participate in the chat. So if you have any questions from Kamilla, you can use the chat and continue the discussion there. Since the schedule is very tight, we have to go forward. So we still have Jyrki, who's gonna tell us something about Talent Boost before we go to the breakout rooms for each degree program. So I'm sorry for the teachers, there is a little delay in the program, but you will get to go to the breakout rooms right after Jyrki, and he will tell you more about what is the Talent Boost program and how you can benefit that from. So please, Jyrki, go ahead.
Thank you, Heidi, and thank you, Kamilla. Actually, it's very easy for me to continue after Kamilla because you were talking so much about employability and finding work and reaching out and connecting with other people. Basically, you did my presentation, so thank you already on my behalf. But anyways, my name is Jyrki Rajala. I'm a Talent Boost coordinator here at Centria. So basically, my job is to help you to find your way to the working life in Finland. To put it short, we do a lot of other stuff as well to help you get there. I share my presentation with you so you get a glimpse of the idea. I hope you can now see it. I'm missing the chat when I put it on the full mode. So
we can see it.
So there you go. That's my full name. I know it's a mouthful. It's a very Finnish name, Jyrki Rajala. And you can now already mark it somewhere and put my email as well close to. You can write it somewhere so you can be in touch with me already if you have any questions about finding jobs or as you said when Kamilla was asking about the worries that you might have about the finance issues about. I'm guessing it's related finding the work and how to manage here in Finland and especially in Kokkola and different campuses that we have here in Centria. So I'm happy to help you with answering the questions that you might have or the concerns that you might have there. I want to keep my presentation short as possible, just to give you a glimpse of what we do in Centria. So already half of the stuff, or almost all of the stuff that are in my presentation were in Kamilla's presentation. Especially when it comes to working life connections and the employability in the area. So we do a lot with the students. We when it comes to the first one, we organize trips to visit companies. We invite companies for breakfast events to have different like presentations for our students. Okay, now I smooth it. We try to make it in a low threshold. I think the local companies, especially the companies in Finland, you are able to, or you'd be surprised how easily they are approachable. At least here in Kokkola, you can feel that they are here for the employers, but for the students as well, and it's easy to connect with them as well. And part of my job also is to build the networks in the area, not just the working life connections, but also try to help our students to find networks around and like outside from the school. And I think in Centria in general, we try to accommodate this in everyday activities that we have. And we want our students to feel like at home from the first moment when they come to Kokkola, and to help them to integrate into the society that, yes, arguably is a bit different from probably where you come from. But we try to make it as easy as possible, and Sofia will be telling you more about those processes later. And Kamilla also mentioned about strengthening the Finnish skills early on. I would highly suggest that you do it. It is true what she said that if you learn the Finnish from the get-go, it's much easier than to network and build working life connections in Finland. You don't need to know a lot. In the beginning, it's easy to just start with few phrases here and there, few words, and then use those with people that you know, use them with Finnish friends that you get from here, and then you will start building up your vocabulary. And it will come. There are many good examples in Kokkola and in our campuses, in Finland in general, from people who have moved here from abroad and they have mastered the Finnish language. Then we organize different kinds of workshops to develop the skills towards working life. And some of them are mentioned below, like CV workshop, how to apply for work here in Finland. It's very different from what you're maybe used to at home. Building your own portfolios, your professional portfolio. And we also help you when you find a work and when you get an interview, you're interviewed for the work. We help you with kind of like the simulation, like what are the most common asked questions here in Finland, maybe that the employers might ask you. So there's also the possibility to turn to me or turn to my colleagues, Anni-Maija, or any other who works the same field here at Centria. We're able to help you with the interviews and getting ready for it. And of course, many more different things that we do. Some reason, yes, there we go. Then what can you look forward to? There's just a few examples that I was speaking of in pictures. I think it's much easier than to kind of like for you to kind of like visualize when you're here. So we have keynote speakers coming to speak to our international students, also the Finnish students. I think we both get a lot from these. Then we have this day of retails for business students. Of course, the other students are also welcome there. But I think that's just one of the brochures that is there. Breakfast events for students. I just hosted one this week. We have many international students coming in, and then I think it's a nice way to meet the companies, to have a coffee and a free breakfast for everybody, and everybody feels good. And it's kind of like an easy way to get to know and get to network with the businesses. Then we organized also this kind of like a recruitment event for IT students, Road to Summer Job 2023, which was a success. Many of the students got a traineeship position from there, and some of them even continued for their summer jobs as well. And also the credit points were then handed to the students. So many things. And then we meet the students also who might be living somewhere else, and we try to go all over the central Ostrobothnia and northern Ostrobothnia and Ostrobotnia's areas, and meet the companies, and then also speak on behalf of our international students. Then a huge list of things. I don't expect you to read them all, but we're connecting the students with different opportunities in the area. Like I said, with campus visits, different kinds of meets up, one-to-one career guidance, all kinds of things are going on at Centria. I would say every week there's something different where you can participate in. And I think that like Kamilla said in her keynote speak, it is important that you network. You do it from the early on, and then that's the way to meet the students. I know that nowadays it's easy to stay, maybe even at some point to feel like, oh, I'm gonna stay at home today. I don't feel like going, especially when it gets really cold. I think those are the crucial days when you should come to the campus and should network even harder. I know that it might be a bit of a challenge at some days, but definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Yeah, just low threshold get-together events with Sofia as well. We're meeting our students every Tuesday this month from 10 to 11. I'm hoping that we can continue that also next year, so that we are very accessible, very easy to reach. All the help is just there every week for you guys to come and just talk to us about different things. If you don't have anything specific, sometimes it's just nice to have a chat with somebody and maybe practice that Finnish with us as well. That's it from my behalf. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Kamilla, and thank you, Francesca, for inviting me. It was a pleasure being here. And I already put in the chat about our work, life, and career services. So please check the website. We will give you more information, and I will also put my email to the chat. So feel free to contact me if you have any further questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Jyrki. I think that was a lot of good tips and hints for the new students, especially who don't know the Finnish system and how to get a part-time job, for example. So you can always be in contact with Jyrki, and he can guide you forward with your work-related issues. And now we will continue the program. So this is now the chance that you get to meet some of the teachers that will be teaching you, and then you will also be meeting some of the students that will join with you next autumn in August. So you will now see the degree programs, the list of the programs, so you can choose your own program from the list and join that group. And in case there are any family members or friends who are not part of any particular program, you can choose whichever program you find interesting. And yes, have a chat there, and you can ask questions and have a talk with the teachers in the group. So enjoy the session. I guess everybody is back, so we can continue our program. And the rest of the session, or the rest of the event, will be quite a concrete information regarding settling to Finland, to coming here and starting their studies. So we will now invite on stage Sofia, the camera is open, and then our admissions team, who will share some useful information for you, what to do now and how should you start to prepare for coming to Finland. So please, girls, the stage is yours.
Thank you. My name is Sofia Behluli. Hi, nice to see you all here. I work in integration services in Centria. So from now on, and when you arrive to Centria, I can help you with anything concerning integration, housing, finding hobbies or meaningful things outside the campus and outside your studies, learning Finnish, anything to do with your life in Finland and at the campus. So my name is Sofia, and then we have admissions office. You can introduce yourselves, and then I'll show our slide to you.
Okay, hi, we are the admissions office. I'm Niina-Mari.
And my name is Heidi. And I'm Jennie. Nice to see you all.
So if you have any questions with tuition fees or residence permit wise, or what else, you can tell them. You can contact admissions office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically everything when coming to Finland about, then contact us. And we will direct you somewhere else if we don't know.
Yeah, and once you have arrived, I am the person to contact after that. Okay, so here is a timeline for you. Maybe admissions office can first begin, and we will see what the path for you is to arriving to Finland and to Centria.
Okay, thank you, Sofia. So the acceptance letters have been sent. So please, we remind you to read them carefully, because there is a lot of information and details that is useful to you. So please go through with them with thought. Then what to do next after receiving the acceptance letter? Remember that the due date for accepting the study place in study info is 14th of July. So please remember that date and do it before that, or latest at 14th of July. Then pay the tuition fee if you're required to do so and enroll for the study year. Also check from your acceptance letter the early bird due date. It is everyone has their own early bird due date, so please check it from your acceptance letter. Then you need to apply for the residence permit and do it as soon as possible, because it usually takes some time for the process to go on. Remember that you can do it by yourself at enterfinland.fi, If you need instructions, those can be found from Migri's website, so please check those also. And then Heidi will give you some more.
Yeah, so I'll go through a little bit like some questions that are frequently asked from us. So let's start from the residence permits. So first question that is asked frequently is what documents are needed for residence permits and insurances and bonds and stuff like that. Unfortunately, we cannot give you like a straight answer, so you have to check it from Migri's website. And other thing is that if you want to work during studying in Finland, you also have to check it from Migri also. And we have given you the link in the acceptance letter for the Migri's website, so you can go check it there. Then in case that you get negative decision for the residence permit, then you can check the refund things. If you need to get a refund for the tuition fees, then you can check the instructions from the acceptance letter also. And then the tuition fees for the first year students, the tuition fee has to be paid for the whole year, whole academic year. But after that, for the second and third year, it has to be paid in halves. And yeah, then there's gonna be scholarship things, but maybe we can tell about those later on. And if you have more questions, we, as Heidi said earlier, we have the Q&A section. So let us know if you need to know more about residence permits or tuition fees or anything.
Yeah, I think you can, Sofia, then continue.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the important thing with the residence permit is that you apply for it very soon after you have accepted your study place, and that you deliver all the necessary attachment right from the beginning. That will make the process faster. And when you estimate your arrival to Finland will be in a couple of months, I advise you to apply for a student apartment. If you are moving to Kokkola, there is a website, Tankkari.fi. Tankkari is a student housing company. They have 6 different houses for student apartments. So few months before arriving, apply for a student apartment if you wish to live in a student apartment. There are studios available mainly for families and shared apartments for students who are coming alone. So make sure to do your application correctly. If you have any questions, you will find Tankkari's contact information from the website. And Merle is also here for the questions and answers section. So Merle is from Tankkari and she will answer any questions you might have concerning student housing. Then if you are moving to Pietarsaari, you will find the website there on the sheet. So there are student apartments available, but unfortunately not for all. So make sure to apply early enough, and please understand that not everyone will get a student apartment when they need it. So it might be that you also have to see the apartments on the open market. And if you are having trouble with finding an apartment, you can contact me. We also have information in the Centria's website about accommodation, and I will, once our slide is over, I will put the link in the chat. So once you have applied for an apartment, and even before, you can start getting to know Finland and the city you are moving to, maybe Kokkola, maybe Pietarsaari, or something else. One good website is infofinland.fi. I suggest you really look into it. There are many types of different things there about everyday life, about the society, about the culture, about different things. So make sure to see that. Then one important thing we have, it's a new thing, and new thing that we are very excited to tell you about it. It's an app called Going Centria. You will find it there under number 2. Once this event is closing, you can go and download the app. It's an online community for all Centria students. So that is a great place to connect with other Centria students and hopefully get to know Finland and the Centria cities also. Then once you get to Finland and once you get to the campus, make sure to see a checklist from the website under the number 6. There is a checklist of things you should do once you arrive to Finland. Some things are that you have to come to the campus to register for your studies. You have to present your original documents. You have to register to DVV. You will find more information in the website. You have to get a Finnish bank account, get a Finnish phone number, and so on. So these are really important things you need to do once you arrive to Finland. It doesn't hurt to check these out before your arrival, but at the latest once you are here. And that was number 7 also. So once you come to Finland, come to the campus to register. Student services is the place to do it, and it is very important that it is the first thing for you to do. So this timeline you will see from the website. I will take it down so I can go to the chat and put the link there. But you can see this slide on the website. You can see the checklist on the website. You can see my contact information in the same website. So you can contact me with anything and I will forward you to admissions office or someone else if someone else can help you better. And after this event, we will also put the questions and answer in the same web page also. So you will find answers to your questions. For example, how to study Finnish, or what to do if you don't get a residence permit. What is the living standard in Finland? How are the living costs in Finland? So you will find all these questions on all these answers also in the website. Okay, here the link is coming, and the questions and answers will come here within a few weeks, and we will update this page also for more information and useful information. So that is really important to keep that in mind. Okay, that is for us, Integration Services and Admissions Office. If you have any questions, we have a few minutes here, and then we will start the questions and answers section also. I haven't been able to see the chat during our presentation, but let's see if there are questions for us. There are some questions about residence permit. Usually the best place to really ask is the Finnish Immigration Services and then Admissions Office also. So maybe Admissions Office can answer these questions about residence permits. The important things are to apply early enough and then attach all the required attachments.
Thank you, Sofia, and the whole admissions team. I think that we can go through the questions also regarding the residence permits, and we can straight away start the Q&A session as probably there still are some questions, and we will go through the chat because there probably are some questions that have been just went by and we haven't noticed them, so we will have to go through them all. But I think that there are still Centria people here, so if you're able to stay, please stay, because there might be some study related questions as well. But now the stage is yours. Please feel free to ask questions. You can either open your cameras and microphones or use the chat, whichever you prefer. And we are here to help you. And in case there are any questions that we cannot answer right away, we can then get back to you by phone or email, whichever suits you the best. And we have also Merle here from the Tankkari student housing. So in case you have questions related to the student housing in Kokkola, so you can also ask questions related to that one. It would be actually nice to see the faces. So if you can open your cameras, it would be really nice to have a discussion as kind of like face to face. So please, if you are able to use your cameras, it would be nice to see your faces. At least some brave ones are opening their cameras. Nice, thank you. I really hope that you had some nice discussions already in the breakout rooms with the teachers and other students. And hopefully you got a lot of information regarding the studies and also about the admission process. And like, I really advise you to accept the study place as soon as possible so that you can continue the residence permit process as soon as possible, because that might take some time. So I advise you to do that. I can see that there are some questions about Tankkari, and Merle is already answering them in the chat. So thank you, Merle, for that.
I see a question about student housing in Pietarsaari, that the webpage is in Finnish. And yes, unfortunately, in Pietarsaari, the student housing webpage is only in Finnish and Swedish. So if you need help, you can contact me. I'm sure a translator also works, but you can contact me if you need help with finding a student apartment in Pietarsaari. You will find my contact information in this link I said in the chat just now.
Thank you, Sofia. At this point, I will also want to mention another event that will be organized by Study in Finland. And it's kind of a similar event as we had today, but more of a like Finland perspective. So I will share the information on the chat. So if you're interested in joining, please do so. It's going to be interesting student stories, interesting things about Finland, and also about the residence permit process. So please join if you're able to join. That will be organized on next Wednesday on 19th, and starting 1 p.m. Finnish time as this event was organized. So you should see the link now there. It requires the registration, so please do that if you're interested in joining. And one other thing is that Sofia was mentioning the Going app. So we will send you to the address that you used when you applied to us. We will send you the invitation link to the Going app so that you can already download it, register, and start getting to know all the people, all the students. There are already like our current students that have logged in. So there are already people who are waiting for you to join. And you can also ask questions and network with other students, maybe even find a roommate or something like that. So please, I really suggest that you take that into use. That's a new service for us. So we are eager to find out whether this is helpful for you already before you arrive to Finland. Maybe admissions team can confirm when you have sent the invitation so that we can see whether all the people received that.
Heidi, there were some questions to teachers. I see that Jana Holm and Jari was just there a minute ago. and who else is Veimu, Tuija are here. So if there are any questions related to teachers, then shoot, this is your opportunity.
I'm here at least to answer.
Yes, good. And Weimu, you is there, Tuija as well.
I'm
here too.
Yes. I know that there were some people maybe who couldn't join the group for some reason. So now it's again a chance to ask from the teachers if there is something you want to know.
So be brave, and you know, you can also ask questions outside the chat and comment. And very unfinished thing to do, but since you are not here yet.
Yeah, Finnish people are very shy to open their cameras or even write in the chat. So please feel free to use that.
Yeah.
I didn't see whether we have any questions here that we haven't responded yet. Maybe others have seen if there are some, or some open the mic and
there was something about, can you work from Helsinki and study in Centria? Well, we advise everybody who study full time to actually come to Kokkola or to our campus. So that's what we advise. And then later on, when you proceed with your studies, maybe on the second or the third year, then some people may move to other cities. But at the early stage, our advice would be that you have to be actually present in Kokkola, because the teaching will be given on site. Somebody getting Finnish vibe, so that's good.
Hello.
Hello.
Am I audible? I have a query.
Yes.
So is there any difficulty to get visa for blended learning?
Well, I can answer for that. For blended learning, even though it's blended learning, the mode of teaching is blended learning, but it's a full-time program. Sometimes Migri wants, at least that has been their opinion at the moment, that they have to see that it's actually done full-time, even though it's on a blended mode. So you should actually live at the site where the teaching is given. But it's up to Migri to decide. Did that answer to your question? So a little bit tough to know at the moment, but if you can sort of tell that you are on site in the city where the teaching is given, then yes.
That was a good question.
It's a tricky question a little bit.
Is there anything else? Now it's your chance to ask whatever comes to your mind, and we try to help you the best way we can.
There is a questions about when will the student know the starting day of next academic year?
Admissions, do you have that answer available?
We will write it down to the chat so you can copy it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but can you say it to us as well if you have the date? Somewhere around September, in the beginning of September, right?
Usually the orientation days are already start at the end of August.
Yeah.
But let's wait for the actual days. But you will have orientation days at the beginning of your studies. And you will again get a lot of information regarding the studies, but also like basically anything related to studies or Centria or Kokkola or Pietarsaari or the area. So you will receive a lot of information during those days.
Yes, we don't actually have the exact date at the moment, but like Heidi said, it's usually the last week of August
when the orientation days are. And then the actual courses start from the beginning of September then. But we will send you more information during summer about this. But prepare for the last week of August.
Good. Then the Go and Connect app, Centria was Heidi was mentioning that as well, but really keen on getting feedback on that, and a very good opportunity to meet also the Finnish students starting to use that, and for apartments, for getting a job, being connected with people.
Yes, it's like the app is basically, we took it for you to help you, because we knew that people or students are looking to connect with others already before they come here. So this hopefully is the solution for that, so that you can get to know each other. Because maybe there's a situation you don't know anybody from Finland or from Kokkola or Pietarsaari yet. So this will be a chance to get to know at least somebody from Finland already before you come here.
Then there were questions about the embassies and the embassy of Pakistan. We know there's a problem there, but there was an answer also to those questions. So therefore very, very important again to start applying for the residence permits as early as possible.
Is there still something else we have missed?
I think at least the residence permit, it's wise to start filling in your application online as soon as possible, because it will take you a lot of time. You will log in many times to upload the documents, correct your confirmation, and all this take quite a lot of time before you submit. And the embassy will queue after they received your submission, and they will arrange the interview opportunities. So especially in summer, I think that even after the submission of your application, it will take at least 1 month. You actually can get the residential permit card, and they have to make the card. It's a physical card that you have to carry with your passport, and the production of your card also takes time when they manufacture in EU partner countries.
I can see that there is a chat about payments. At least 2 students have already paid the tuition fee, but haven't received any confirmation. So could admissions tell a little bit about that process?
Yes, we go through the payments once a week, approximately, and we will send the receipts then. So by the end of this week, so probably tomorrow, you will, if you have paid and the tuition fee has reached our account, then you will probably tomorrow get the receipt of your payment. And then again, we will do this again next week.
Okay, and I guess it takes a few days before the sum is actually on our account. So
yeah, at least few days. It can take even more. It depends on so many things, but at least two or three bank days.
Okay, so be patient. You will get the receipt once the payment has arrived and the admissions team has checked that it has come.
A question of online study programs. Is everything starting group projects and group discussion, etc., conducted online? Depending on the program, but Tuija, Veimu, Jaana, somebody from the program, can you comment on that, Timo?
I could comment. We will start on campus.
And this is for chemistry?
For chemistry. Environmental chemistry and technology.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear a question.
But I was asking about the online start. There was a question about the online study programs. Everything got starting group projects and group discussion, etc., conducted online. And Jana was just giving an answer for chemistry, but we can go through the different apartments. You can go on, Jana, if you had something to add still.
We will start here on campus. Maybe in the beginning we will have it as hybrid, depending on how many students are able to arrive in time.
Good.
So that is, we cannot answer directly now. We need to wait a little bit with those answers.
Right. How is it, Tuija, with you guys in business?
Is Sarah still there? Because it's different in Pietarsaari than in Kokkola. But in Kokkola, we try to organize everything here on campus. But now at first in next autumn, we will start online. And when the courses are totally online, in those cases, group projects and discussion and so on will be there online, but we want to get everybody here and study here on campus, and I hope that you could get a accommodation here in Kokkola, and that's the way it goes before Christmas, I hope. But in Pietarsaari, we have those blended learning groups, and that's the different situation there. We have some days there on campus and mainly one day in a month on campus, and other courses are online.
Right. Thank you, Tuija. Is Sarah still here? Does she have something to add?
She said that she had to leave, but I will put her email address there, because she said that if there are any questions related to international business in Pietarsaari, so she can get back to you if you want to know more about that. So
perfect.
I will put it there. Just a second.
Perfect. Does Timo
Could I still add one thing? Because why we are directly online is because we have introduction to chemistry course, and it's here in the lab, and we cannot have it online, not at all. So our students, please arrive on campus learning directly from day one.
Good. Thank you, Jana. Timo, it must be the same thing with the nurses, right? Timo had something urgent there, but I would assume that this is the case for those studying in the nursing program as soon as you can, as soon as you get the residence permit. Good to be on campus at that time. The latest date to arrive on campus is somewhere. We will announce the date. Somebody was asking that question, but somewhere probably in the middle of January. That is the latest dates. There is a possibility to arrive on campus to be able to further go on with studies. And please remember, all of you, that when you arrive on campus for the first time to register, bring all your original documents with you. This is very important because they will be checked when you arrive, and actually the study right is until then it's not fully secured. So those documents you use to apply to Centria, bring them with you. Anything else coming to mind?
I can still see that Merle is online, so in case you have any questions about the housing, so now it's your chance to ask. I think there were something, but I'm not sure whether they have been answered already. But if you have any questions, please use the chat or open your mic.
Merle has been answering the questions there on chat, and we have to say that the housing situation in Kokkola is a little bit difficult. So, you know, be on time to apply for the housing and use different channels, and especially probably for the family housing, or what do you, Merle, say for those coming with their family? What's the best way to proceed? I think you were also answering in the chat as well.
We can't hear you, or at least I can't.
No, we can't, Merle, hear you. Now.
That helped.
In Tankari, the apartment situation is difficult. So every apartment is full at the moment. We are hoping to get more available apartments during summertime, but we don't have many family apartments available. So we recommend, if you're coming with your family with children, please apply from somewhere else also. For example, Kokkola Vuokra-asunnot, it's city apartments, and also Lakea has a little bit cheaper apartments. Of course, apply from Tankari also if you're coming with families. Families with children are coming ahead in family apartments. But the situation is, everything depends on the cancellations. But I know that this autumn we will have much more apartments available than last autumn.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and we are doing our best to find apartment to everyone. But you should apply a little bit earlier. Last year there were, if you apply 5 days before you arrive, we don't find you an apartment.
Definitely not.
So be on time. That's a good tip.
Yeah.
There's a question now related to how can I prepare for Kokkola weather, which is quite an interesting question. I'm not sure where from the world are you coming from, but I think well, in Finland at least we have 4 seasons. So all of the summer, autumn, winter, spring, all of them are very different. So it might be warm in the summertime, or maybe already in the springtime, or it might be very, very cold as it gets snowy and chilly in the winter time. And as Kokkola is located on the coast, so there is a sea next to us, and then after the sea is Sweden. So usually it's quite windy. So it might feel chilly at some days, but also it's very beautiful having the walks at the beach or enjoying the summer evenings at the beach. But the weather, I don't know how to describe that.
We have to ask Lee and Huong. What do you say, Lee and Huong from our team?
True.
Yeah, thank you, Francesca and Heidi. I just want come one sentence into my mind. In Finnish or Swedish, maybe they said there's no bad weather. There are only bad clothes, and I don't recommend you carry a lot of winter coat or winter shoes, because here in Finland you will find your good size, very good quality winter jacket, shoes, and also winter hats, gloves, and also out walking pants, which help to protect from the strong wind. If I go out walk over 10 minutes, I always put on Swedish called utbyxor. It's like a almost like a fleece pants over your own pants. So it's very warm, and I never feel freeze in Finland actually. And but our teacher to China, sometimes they feel freezing cold because it's a very different construction of the building. And all the houses in Finland, you wouldn't freeze. And we have very good insulation, like 5 layers of walls. So there's not so much to worry about being cold weather here.
What do you, Huong, say?
Yeah,
You're in the southern Finland.
I have a few tips for you based on my experience, as I also one of Centria student. But these tips no one shared with me before, so right now I really want to share with you. The first thing about winter jackets or winter boots. I come from Vietnam, and it's not easy to find those in Vietnam. And the thing I can find in Vietnam is so much expensive because we have to import it from outside Vietnam. So the price is really high and the quality is not as good as here in Finland. And then those jackets and boots is very heavy. So I have to carry a lot of stuff for myself for the long way from Vietnam to Finland. And then when I arrived Finland, I really surprised because the price here is very cheap compared to the one I bought in Vietnam. And especially sometime in Finland, they have sale season. And even I can buy a winter jacket with the price about 30 euros. That's the first tip. I think you first of all, just buy something basic you can find in your country. And then later, if you want to buy something more to repair during the winter, you can buy everything in Finland when you already arrive with a good price and high quality. The second tip is that don't try to buy a huge jacket. I think it's much better if you wear more layer than just wear only one huge jacket. Yeah, that is the first 2 tips I have in my mind at the moment.
Yes, because the seasons are so different. So otherwise you need like 4 different jackets everywhere. So good tip from good tips from both of you, Huong and Lee. Actually, many of us nowadays, including me, do have a huge jacket, like a sleeping bag type of a jacket. So that's the ultimate survival in Finland. But this year actually didn't go very low, where we somewhere like -50, -20. Those were probably the lowest figures here in Finland this year. Sometimes it has been like -35 or something like that, but the winters aren't that cold anymore.
And don't be afraid of the cold weather. It's
As
get used to it.
Just bad clothes, no bad weather.
And then one thing that's not really weather related, but something to maybe know before you come here is that autumn and winter seasons are quite dark. So it gets quite dark already, maybe in the afternoon, especially in the winter. But when the January comes, or maybe February, the day starts to get longer and sunnier and brighter. And already now we're in the middle of April. The weather is getting much nicer and warmer. So it's already bright at 7.
Yeah.
Something like that, up to 9 something. And of course, in the summer, there are places in Finland when the sun doesn't go down at all. So it's sunny, like bright all the time. So you basically don't even maybe notice when it's night or daytime.
Yeah.
So the seasons are very different. And
when you go above Pori, doesn't it start somewhere around Pori? So when you go above from Pori, you go down from Pori, it still comes a little bit darker. It is darker than from above Pori. So that's the line in Finland where it changes very much. But it's an experience not to have darkness at all. Somebody was asking about the jobs in Helsinki area, not in Kokkola. Well, of course, Helsinki is the capital, so this probably applies to all the capitals in the world. So all the major cities, capitals have more possibilities than others. But as, for example, Jennie was saying, there's a huge demand in the Kokkola area and in Vaasa and the whole coastal areas of Finland of people in different positions. And for example, the investments in chemistry industry in our area are closer to bringing at least 2,500 people more to work in Kokkola. So a lot of investments in the area, a lot of working force needed. So in that sense, it looks good, but always depends on people, of course.
And as Sofia said in the chat, in the going up, you will find lots of information, but there is a chance also to ask other students who have like previously experienced the Finnish weather. So that's a good way to start the discussion with them as well and get to know them better and also know something about the weather as well.
Iman is asking that how do you sleep during the summer when it's light? It is a problem to some people like me. I always have to have curtains. So there are sort of these thick curtains you can, put. Some students who necessarily didn't put the money in the curtains, did something else with that, go partying or something else. Just put black plastic bags on the windows even to block the sun. So there are all kinds of tricks. But you get more used to it. Some people get more used to it. Some people actually don't. Male football team. Does somebody know? Do we have a male football team?
I'll try to answer if the network is stable enough. So there isn't a male football team yet, but we have going.
Sofia, it's breaking, so maybe if you can use the chat. I'm not sure whether she can hear me anymore.
The Finnish railroad system didn't prove its best part in this discussion now, so we lost you, Sofia. But maybe she can. But probably what she was trying to say was that if there are many people who are interested in football, then we can create something based on that.
And then of course our student union KOPSA organizes different kind of sports activities and other events for the students. So you probably find a lot of things to do with KOPSA when you arrive to Finland. But maybe try to find from going up people who are like-minded, so they probably know whether there is a football team.
Yeah. Posti job for student in Kokkola. Yeah, and also of course it's a very different question when we talk about sort of low-skilled jobs, like we would call posti job. Not everybody knows what's posti, but posti delivers mail in Finland. So these kind of jobs, there are of course more available everywhere. But then when you come to an expert job, of course it's a different thing, and then you have to have the expertise. So probably not from when you are on the first year, you can't be considered as an expert. So that at that point it would be difficult to get an expert job. But when you graduate, then it's of course very, very different.
Great. I think that I can try to share the going up picture from my computer if I'm able to do that. And there's a QR code in that as well, so you might be able to download the app I'm afraid that now people will just vanish when I put this and they go to going up to discuss with the other students, but that's okay. Just a second, I will try to add it on the chat box. But you will also receive the invitation by email afterwards, so you can use the link in that email as well. Okay, Sofia confirmed there are male football teams in Kokkola in general. So if you're interested, you can join one of them.
There are probably female football teams as well. There is a Finnish female football team.
Probably, yeah.
We should have the international office people here because they are very much into football. They would know answers to these questions. Yes, Sofia confirms. And basketball teams from Lee.
Okay, is there still something we should cover?
Many people are asking about the going code.
Just a second, I just found it, but I lost it. Second, I will put it in the chat.
Good.
And there you have it. So that's the code that you can use when you log in or register the Going app. How much is a bicycle or a car for a student in Kokkola? I know that I've seen some like notes on the ilmoitustaulu. What's that in English?
Notice board.
Hmm?
Notice board.
Notice board that people are selling their bicycles, so they are of course used. I don't remember the price, so I guess that might vary a bit, but I guess those students that are graduating might want to get rid of their bicycles, so that's a good way to find one. Maybe finding one in the Going app from somebody else. And there are also like websites for the cars. There are like large websites where they sell used cars. So that's also a possibility too.
And there's a large variety, probably bikes 50, 100, somewhere there for used bikes, used cars, 500 probably, but it's not going to last for very long. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, maybe like a car you could drive for a little bit longer, probably something like that. In the summer, there are scooters, then the electric scooters on campus, which you can also use to move around.
Oh, Sofia knew the prices better than I did, so she already answered in the chat as well.
Maybe I'm just guessing, but we will put info on the website because this is really, these are great questions and good to know for everyone.
Sofia, by the way, so we
sorry. Sorry.
I gave the same sums almost than you did.
Really good. So we know the price.
Yeah, we have some experience in.
Yeah, there are a lot of Facebook like marketplace and second-hand pages that you can get bikes for you know, they are used and second-hand, but in really good condition because people sell and buy second-hand in Finland all the time. So you don't practically have to buy anything new, and us Finns, we love second-hand.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there something else still that needs to go through? We have still some time if you have any questions left. And of course, you can always contact us afterwards if you get some questions later on, so you can always contact us later.
And if there's anybody in India, from India or Morocco in this event now, we will be with Heidi in Delhi, Mumbai and Bangalore during the next days. And then on the next week after that in Casablanca in Morocco, attending fairs, and you can find the information for the fairs at Meet Us site on Centria's website. So you can come and say hi to us and ask more questions.
Okay, but I think it's time to say thank you for participating and joining, and I really hope that you got at least some information to make the decision whether you want to start your study path here at Centria with us. And do not hesitate to contact us if you have any questions. The help is always here, so please be in contact. And I really wish that we're going to see all of you next autumn in August when the orientation day starts. So hopefully we will see you at the campus corridors then. But thank you on behalf of me and our whole team and everybody at Centria. So thank you for coming.
Before leaving, I think we can say a little bit about the exchange program in Centria.
The exchange program.
Yes, there's questions about that.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
Okay. So we have an exchange, we are taking part in the Erasmus exchange program, and then we have some overseas or bilateral agreements with some other countries, and then degree students, of course, have the possibility to apply for those places abroad as well. The exchanges last from half a year to 1 year, so depending on the site where you are applying, there are a lot of possibilities for that. Thank you for reminding about that, Huang. And you can find the places actually on our website, what is available. But from everybody, I guess we say bye and thank you very much, and good to see you all, and looking forward to meeting you all then in the late August.
Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining. Bye, everyone, and let's be in contact.
Bye.